to the red for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's the founder and CEO of Fix Yourself and Flaunt It, and other than Miss Amy Nicole Ellis.
Hey,
Welcome, Miss Amy. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
yes. So, as Daniel said, I am the founder of Fix Yourself and Flaunt It. That actually came about because I have filed bankruptcy 3 times and have no regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Some of your listeners are probably saying, "What?" She said, "What?" Yes.
What happened? Yeah. I
And
think yes. Go ahead.
yes. So, now knowing what I didn't know back then, I decided, you know what, people need to hear my story and everything. In life, everything happens for a reason. And those 3 bankruptcies actually happened for a reason. And like I said, I have no regrets about it. So that's how Fix Yourself and Flaunt It came about. I'm a actual speaker, also a human design life consultant, where I help people pretty much realize that there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes we wake up saying, "Are we doing this again? Why am I not further ahead?" Or that comparison syndrome. So I'm here to share with the world that you're probably feeling like that because it could be the way you're designed. So,
Mm, yes. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Amy. Thank you. And today, let's talk about the 3 breakups, 3 bankruptcies, 0 regrets, the truth about failure, forgiveness, and finding your power. Zero regrets is a profound stance. Does it mean you would not change a single thing about your past, or that you found way to truly integrate those experiences without the burden of regret? What is your distinction?
actually, both. I My bonus dad always told me, "Don't ever regret anything you've done." So, um, I don't regret it, especially now in this present moment. I do not regret it because, like I said in my introduction, those 3 bankruptcies kind of it made me see who I am and how I'm wired and how I navigate through life. Those 3 bankruptcies actually happened at pivotal points in my life. The first one was in my late 20s, second one, I think late 30s, and the last one was in my early 50s. Um, and the last one is the one that actually kind of got on that broke me down. I'll say, because I did everything right. It That came when I had lost a job. I switched careers right after COVID in 2021. I switched careers because I was like, I'm done dealing with healthcare. I was in HR, and plus, of course, during COVID, everything was it was like a revolving door in the healthcare industry. So it's like I'm fed up. So I switched industries altogether. 2.5 months in the job, 21 of us got laid off. I've always been on the side of terminating people, but never to be terminated. So it took about like a year and a half for me to find another job. Um, so I did everything what I thought was correct. Called the credit card companies. Hey, I lost my job. Blah blah blah. And when it came down to pay a bill on a credit card that was closed versus living and eating and paying rent, I decided to go with the latter and stop paying on the credit cards. Well, unbeknownst to me, I get a knock on the door from the sheriff's department saying, "Hey, yeah, these 3 credit card companies are going after you." Now, my previous 2 bankruptcies, the sheriff never did serve me, so I'm like, what's going on? So, but yeah, when I sat, so fast forward, got a bankruptcy attorney. Of course, like, why am I going through this again? Blah blah blah. Having those feelings. Um, I was bankruptcy court was virtual, so I'm sitting in my what I call my woosah space, virtual. Like, why am I here again? What I did everything right. I contacted the companies, whatever. But it's like, you know what? I'd gone through this before, two other times, and I made it through. So it's like, it's not like you can't make it through. Pull up your big girl panties and let's keep going. And so that's that was like I said, the pivotal point where I actually felt like, why am I here again? Because I was what, 50, 51, going on 52 at the time. So
Mhm.
it's like, I'm too old to be going through this.
So after the third bankruptcy, what was the different? What did you finally understand about failure, about yourself that you had not grasped after the first or second?
um, After that third bankruptcy, probably believe about a year or a couple of months, we'll say about 6 months to a year later, I actually hired a life coach because, like I said, I was like, why am I here again? I'm waking up in the morning looking at the ceiling, like, okay, here I go to another job that I really don't, that's not lighting me up, blah, blah, blah. So I hired a life coach. In our session, she talked a little bit about human design. And at that point, I knew about human design. I knew the basics, like my type and my profile, whatever. But she went a little bit in depth about it, which actually it clicked. That was like my aha moment, because my my profile on the unconscious side, I'm meant to go through three stages. Okay. And that last stage, which is the stage I'm in now, is a role model. I'm supposed to pretty much everything I've gone through share with the world, which I'm doing, like with you, Daniel, on your podcast. Share with the world what I've been through. So what does that mean? My first bankruptcy was trial and error. I like to say I've been through trial and error, and now I have blossomed. So learning that about me and how I was designed, how I am designed, it clicked. It was like, there's nothing wrong with me. Yeah, I filed three bankruptcies. However, I can take that, what I've been through, and share it with someone, or like I said, with the world, for those who might be thinking, hey, I don't want to file bankruptcy. It's going to take 10 years before blah, blah, blah. I'm here to tell you, 10 years go by fast, and you can relive pretty much a couple of months after bankruptcy. So that's what it taught me, that the lesson, the resilience. Failure is just data. I like to tell people, is data. Meteorologists use data, right, to predict.
Yes.
So looking back over my past, it's like, okay, that was a pattern. Okay, yeah, don't do that. That was a pattern. Okay, check. And it's like, now it's like, okay, now I know what not to do. I like to I like to say that I am blessed with delayed processing.
Late processing, but thank you for empowering us through your story, Miss Amy. Finding your power again. How do you define your power before this crisis, and how do you definition fundamentally different now?
Um, well, then I think I was blaming other people, other situations, because as you said in my title, it was three breakups, three bankruptcies. Okay, so imagine, it's like every major breakup that I had, which was three major breakups, a bankruptcy followed that. And of course, I'm in the beginning, I'm blaming someone else, because it's like, yeah, I just blame someone else. The second time I blame someone, the second time I blame the economy, because that's when, I'm not sure how old your audience is, but in '08, 2008, '07, '08 is when the bankruptcy, not bankruptcy, I'm sorry, when the banks was calling loans back, a lot of people going into foreclosure. Well, I had four doors, meaning I had a duplex and two single family homes. All of them went back to the bank. That's when the oh, what is the phrase I'm trying to say? We had the money crisis back then, so everything I owned went back to the bank, and of course I blame that. Which in actuality, now I'm looking back, I was the one that got greedy because I shouldn't have
Mhm.
got that last property. So, but so now instead of blaming everybody, I now blame. I look at me first. If anything, and that's in general, I look at me and say, okay, what did I do to cause this situation? You know, because I think people like to blame others to take it off of them, but you really need to look at you and what you did to cause everything. The first bankruptcy, I knew I was raised better than that. Let's just say I knew to pay the bills on time. I didn't know anything uh, when I got with that particular person. I didn't know anything about like anything after the due date. Meaning, I was taught you pay before the due date. I didn't know there was a grace period after the due date. So what does Amy do? Amy starts falling behind, right? Second bankruptcy, like I said, we over leverage. I had a mortgage person say, "Well, you just closed on this house, so it takes about 30 days before it hits your credit report. So if you want to get this other property, we can go ahead and do it because the other one hasn't." I knew better than that. You see where I'm going with that? And then this one, like I said, since I saw the failure, the data from the past, I knew better, and I what I thought I did better, but hence I went into bankruptcy again. But nevertheless, but it's the main thing is not, don't place blame on someone else. Look at yourself first and see where the data lies.
Mm, definitely. Yes, 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 for sure. So tell us, what was the very first, smallest, non negotiable action you took to start climbing out of what you felt like rock bottom? It is often start with a tiny step, right?
It did. And that tiny step was, I would say, my faith. Because I remember, I remember on the last one, the last major breakup, when I was told, well, yeah, pretty much told, can you afford the Denali payment and a place of your own? If you know anything about vehicles, a Denali payment ain't cheap. And I was paying for our Denali, and I wasn't making that much money. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you're breaking up, huh? And we were together almost 6 years. I'm like, I don't understand. So once I had my moment, I just looked up and said, okay, God, we've been here before, two other times. What you got? And in with that door closing, Daniel, how about I got a brand new 2018 floor room show model, or floor, or however you say it, brand new car at the end of 2018, and end up getting another place like 10 minutes where I was living, and I can afford all of it. So having faith is that little piece that made everything, especially in that last season with that last breakup and this last bankruptcy. That it was like, okay, I've been here before. You got me through all of that. I should not doubt that you can get me through this again.
Yes. Always take the risk, people, right? Take the risk and you will learn from it, just like Miss Amy. Forgiveness can feel letting someone else off the hook. How did you learn to forgive, whether ex partners, business associate, or yourself, while still holding space for your accountability of what happened?
Wow, great question. I just knew to do it. I mean, point blank, it's like you have choices in life, right? You can either wallow in it, blame others, and still be in that pity party, or embrace it, allow yourself at least 24 hours to feel it, pick up your big girl panties, big boy drawers, and move forward. I mean, that's pretty much how I am. I allow myself to wallow for a moment, feel it,
Mhm.
and then get out of it. I mean, that's
Interesting. And let it go. Let it go. Let it go, people. So, looking back, did you see a common thread, a core wound, or limiting belief that, well, that was playing out in both your business or romantic failures?
ooh, yes. Like the main patterns with the, we'll say, the romantic relationships was being oh, dependent on them and not
Mm.
myself. Thinking that, it's going to last forever. Which we all, whenever we get into a relationship, we all think it's going to last forever, but not having myself secure enough, if meaning like financially secure, where I can, well, I guess in the last, well, no, this last time I was okay, but the first one I had to I had to move back in with my mom after the major breakup in my late 20s. And of course, my mother was like, "And how long are you staying?" um, After the second major breakup, I actually moved in with a friend that I actually sold him the house. Uh, so it was like, okay, he was going out to sea. So he was like, "Hey, you can stay here. And I'll be gone for about a couple of years." So, or I think he was gone about a year. He's like, "You can stay here, whatever." I was like, "Okay, thank you." And so it's just, yeah, those patterns. I saw the patterns, and it was like, okay, not to do that again. And like currently in my current relationship, everything, Daniel, that I wrote on my list, I'm pretty sure you know what list I'm talking about. What I want in a mate, what I don't want, everything that I said I wanted, this the person I'm with now, it totally wasn't on my list. And then I thought about it. If I have a list of things that I want or don't want, that means I experienced it. So that way, that means I'm going to keep getting what I've already gotten. And how did that work out? I didn't want someone with kids. Well, guess what? I have two grown bonus daughters with five bonus grandbabies.
Is that awesome? That awesome, Miss
Right?
Amy.
It was like, who
Awesome.
knew? I got rid of the list, you
Mm.
know, and that was like the breaking of the patterns with relationships. And I have my own. I think the patterns that I repeated, I didn't really have my, I didn't have me together. I didn't have that solid foundation, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. So, Miss Amy, as a founder and CEO, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Oh, well, short term, um, I would say getting the message out uh, with my business and helping people realize there's nothing wrong with them, how they're designed. Long term goals is, of course, be on stage, sharing my story, and helping people realize who they truly are and how they're truly designed.
Definitely. Yeah. So, Miss Nicole, good luck for that and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Just know, one, failure is only data. There's nothing wrong with failing because it has data points to help you make better decisions as you live life. So there's nothing wrong with you. Those things you consider failure, just look back over it so that way you won't make the same mistakes again.
Yes, definitely. And thank you for that advice, Miss Amy. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Ah, yes. U squared. I don't know if you can see it. If U
Well,
squared by Price Pritchard. The a high velocity formula for multiplying your personal effectiveness in quantum leaps. I First of all, it's less than 40 pages. So that's good.
that's
And
good.
everything that he says in here is like, oh my gosh, I've done it myself. Like one part it says ignore conventional approaches. Well, what's conventional about filing bankruptcy 3 times? And then my
Yes.
favorite one, I don't know if you have any questions, but when I read this book, it's like I have it highlighted almost the whole book. But another chapter in here is called Seek Failure. Well, what did I just say? Failure is data. You're going to fail along the way. It's just how you're going to approach it. So I truly will recommend. And he also has a follow up, which is the quantum leap strategy. So pretty much, if you want to do something big and bold, you know, right? I'm not a goal setter, pretty much. I mean, or New Year's Eve resolution. No, that doesn't work for me. But doing things unconventional, yes.
Doing unconventional things is something else. And thank you for that recommended book, Miss Amy. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season. Abstract Poetry in second season. My Book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in third season. My Food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101, Love Letters, and Movie 101, Review and Music 101 in its fourth season. And my baby podcast, Law 101, Mental Health and Bible Verses 101, Science 101, and Sex 101 in its second season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Amy, your story is not one of avoiding pain, but of transforming it. What is one message you hope someone who is currently in their first bankruptcy?
It gets better. Don't it gets better. And if you are currently in the process of filing and you're worried about, oh, I won't be able to get a house or whatever, I think it's either 2 to 4 years you'll be able to get a house. Okay. Um, After 10 years, it's completely off your credit. And I know people are like, but it's 7. No, 7 years, that's when they stop looking at it. It's still on your credit. After 10, it's completely off your credit. And like U squared and Price Pritchard, ignore the conventional. If there's something, bankruptcy is a bankruptcy, okay. But there's unconventional ways to still live, okay? So it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, the people, just only the beginning. So, Miss Amy, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Well, if your listeners are interested in learning how they are designed, you can actually go to I have a special site for your podcast listeners. It's amynicoleellis.com/report. You need your time of birth, where you're born, um, and an email address. You'll get a report on your design. And also, you get a secret podcast, which I call a mini masterclass on your report. So that way, you're not looking at it like, what is this? I'm actually walking you through which of each section of the report. So again, amynicoleellis.com/report. Get your free report there. And hey, hopefully you might have questions and want to work with me.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Amynicole Ellis because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Miss Amy, thank you so much for your time.
Daniel, thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.